Hello, my name is John Jackson, and welcome to Grace Community Church. Thankful that you guys are here. I'm sorry that I cannot be with you. I would love to be here, but I'm sorry I cannot be. And I just want to share a little bit about my story, a little bit about what God is doing in my life and in ministry here at Grace. So I was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, to a loving family. My mom raised three boys in the project all by herself with the help of my grandmother and grandfather. She was divorced at 4 when I was 4 years old. And there's a scripture that says, train up a child in the way that he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart. And I believe it was a loving faithfulness, seeing my grandparents and seeing my mom trust God in some believably hard times. And they remained faithful. They remained, and I audibly heard this and I visibly saw it in their service to others and people around them. So I'm grateful for that scripture being so true in my life. But one of the ways that I saw God that really impacted me service wise and training was I saw my mom disciple others. And she would bring them to the house. We had a 4 bedroom apartment, and she was in the other room, and I would always hear her talk about at the end of some of her studies, would lead people to Christ. And she would talk about that we're sinners, that we're saved by grace, and it's not anything of our own, and you cannot do it on your own. And I heard this over and over and over and over. Little did I know that was the training that was happening. God was drawing me to himself. I heard the good news, and I accepted that for myself. I said, God, you died for my sins. I can't do this on my own. I believe you died for my sins. I believe that you rose again. So I believe this not just once or twice, but every time I heard this, I would say this to myself. And I finally got the courage, and I went to my mom and I said, Mom, you've led everybody else to Christ and you never did it for me. And she said, honey, you are saved. You are saved. And in our denomination, one of the things that happened at our church too was once you confessed Christ, you'd have to come before the church and make an open public announcement, and then you went through the process to be baptized. So I'm grateful for my journey, grateful for the scriptures that says, train a child. I was a child, and I believe that God has drawn me to himself for having parents who are faithful to live the word, to live the gospel in front of me, pointing me to Christ. And that's, I feel like, what a part of my life story is pointing others to Jesus. And he so happens to use music as a gift in doing so. So as I graduated, high school, I attended college in Knoxville, Tennessee. I met my wife, and we married, or we wed, in 1998. We have 2 children who live here with us in Greensboro. I came to Greensboro and accepted the position as worship pastor here at Grace in 2021, December to be exact. So grateful for that. And my wife serves as Young Lives coordinator of the Southeast, and she's also assistant regional director here of Young Life. And so grateful for her journey here, and grateful for my kids being here, both of them, Jason and Jalen. They're not on my dime anymore. They're off my payroll. So grateful. So God called me here to Grace, and I've been here again since 2021. I am worship arts pastor, and that involves 2 ministries: the media ministry and the music ministry. The music ministry, we have 4 components, which I'm so grateful for. And when I say components, these are ministries that are designed to help our community, help those who have music as a calling and a gifting to serve and to lead in music. So we have the praise team, and the praise team sings the majority of the worship at Grace, or lead the bulk of the worship at Grace. And they are a small group of probably no more than about 9 folks. Then God blessed us to have our little children's choir, and we offer a space for our little kids who have the gifting to sing, to lead worship in a choir, and they're called Community Kids Choir, and they sing probably twice a year, Easter for sure, and then at maybe a smaller event or during the year. Then we have our college age and young adults, and this is a praise team of college age folks who are at Grace and even in the city that God has blessed me to be in relationship. But we'll come together and we sing at least twice a year, and then maybe even more. But we'll sing and lead worship. And then the last group that we have is our choir, and this allows folks that don't have the small group, an adult that just doesn't have the time to invest in a small group or anything like that, to be a part of a choir. And we sing maybe once, at least once a year. And so grateful for that. Our team, our verse that our team, our music ministry stands on is Psalm 133. How good and how pleasant it is for brethren and sisters to dwell together in unity. And we dwell together in unity, we dwell together in worship, we dwell together in fellowship, and we dwell together in study. So I'm grateful for my team, grateful for their growth, grateful for the diversity of the team. We have an acronym here at Grace called FAMILY, and the A stands for authentic diversity. And I'm grateful for the diversity of our team. No matter what team it is that you see singing at Grace, you will see diversity in ethnicity, in age. And so I'm so grateful for that, grateful that and then our worship, our songs are the same way. God has blessed us to be diverse in our genre, in our languages as we sing and as we lead worship. One of the two events we do a year is like a worship night, and it's called Simple Worship, where it's just the praise team and we share. This is a time where we're not led by the structure or a time constraint, even though it's maybe a time constraint. It is about an hour and a half, but the whole thing is just musical worship, and we allow our teams to testify, to share, and most of all, to sing and lead in worship. And then we have other events that we'll do where we support ministry at Grace, whether it's Good Friday, whether it's Christmas Eve service. So we're grateful for those events and the ways that we are able to serve. We also serve over the media team. The media team has three components as well. We have a video team, we have an audio team, and we have a presentation team or slide team. And so if you desire to be behind the scenes and do something that's just so rewarding, these videos are made possible by that video team, and the sound, the video that you hear that is replicated on YouTube is done by our team. So we're grateful, and they serve every Sunday. They don't serve, one person doesn't serve every Sunday, but they have alternating Sundays, but just another avenue for the body, those who have a calling to serve in ministry. So grateful that you are here. If you have any questions, I would love to speak with you, and God bless.